All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. This is Annette L. Anderson, and this is TNT Tuesday Night Talk. And this is where we take flight and soar. We speak it, orate it, articulate it, and reverberate it. In other words, we just talk about some things. So excited tonight. I have a guest with me tonight. But I'll introduce her in a couple of minutes. But I'm just waiting a couple of minutes for you guys to come on. But I want you to be encouraged when you come on. If you would like and share, I would appreciate it. But I just want to let you know that I come on Tuesdays. I didn't make it last week, of course, but I usually try to be here every week. And this is a platform that I use to try to encourage women and men, of course. And I try to encourage you, let you know that you have what it takes, but you got to take what you have. So many times we have it, but we haven't used it to the best of our ability, or in some cases, we haven't used it at all. So it's so important that we understand that you can use your gift to help you get to the next level. And also, I want to push, nudge, or whatever I need to do, just to let women know and men know that you can do it. Now, oftentimes, this is what happens. We look at our age, we look at our pedigree, the color of our skin, and we have all these isms and schisms why we can't. Well, I'm here to ask you tonight, why can't you? Why can't you go to the next level? Why can't you believe in yourself? Why can't you know that God is able? Why can't you? So I come every week and try to encourage. In fact, I need to share myself. So I'm going to take a couple of minutes and I am going to share this broadcast with a few people. Give me a second here to get it moving. And that's so important when you come on. If you would like, share, and subscribe, I would appreciate it. And give me a second here. Oh, there we go. So let me share. Share to your DM, to your friends, share. So give me a second. I'm sharing. And then I am going to go back to my conversation. I'm sharing it to my husband. He's asleep, but okay. All right. So that's it for me. All right. So again, hello, Sharon. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. I am so appreciative. This is the day that the Lord hath made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. I'm so excited for another opportunity. Just so excited to come on and just to encourage somebody and let them know that you can make it. I know sometimes it can be difficult. I know it does not seem like we can make it, can't go to the next level. Even in my own life, I've struggled in some areas and I've dragged my feet. And now, I hit the ground running because I know the importance. Hello, Miss Doris. I know the importance of walking in your destiny. I know the importance of sometimes how we get so caught up and we tell ourselves what we can and cannot do. And so many times we look at life and look at all the can'ts, but I'm here to tell you that you can. I'm here to let you know that you have it and you can work it. And so I'm going to share a couple of little things and then I'm going to bring on my guest. But what I want you to understand is that every time you look in the mirror, listen, every time you look in the mirror, you're looking at a miracle. I don't care who you are, you're a miracle. I know you're a miracle. Why? Because you're still here. So many people didn't make it. So many people, have gone on, even with the COVID-19, so many people lost their lives and so many other ways they've lost their life. But you're a miracle because you're here, because you're able to breathe. And I just firmly believe that as long as I have breath in my body, then I'm going to persevere. I'm going to go to the next level. I'm going to push. I'm going to do what I need to do. Sometimes I go to bed late at night and get up early in the morning, whatever it takes to ensure that I am working on my destiny. I refuse to die with destiny on the inside of me. And so that is so important for me tonight. So I'm looking at something somebody said. So tonight I am so honored. I'm so honored that I have a guest and a phenomenal woman of God. I think sometimes we don't even know how important we are. We don't know the stuff that we have that somebody else may need. And, we walk around with all this greatness. But anyway, I'm going to bring her on. Her name is Sabrina Howard Davis. So I'm going to bring her in. Give me a second here. All right. I am so honored tonight to have you here with me. I've known her for a long time. I used to work on a job that I formerly formerly worked. I had to stress that point because I retired. I'm so happy about it. But
Yeah.
I brought her on, and we're just going to talk about some things because I think it's so important that I bring people on. Like I tell people that I can talk, child. I can talk all by myself. But so many times I think it's important that we hear another perspective.
Hello.
That's some other people. They're doing some great things. They're doing some great things. So one of the topics that I was dealing with for the next 2 or 3 weeks is brainstorming, and I was sharing with her the brainstorming means so many times we've been God has given us gifts, and sometimes we just have the Bible say write it down, make it plain, and so we have to brainstorm. So okay, God, what would you have me to do? What I've been called to do, and I've did some brainstorming in my own life. So I'm just going to let her first introduce herself and come to in the way that she wants to come. I would appreciate it. All righty, you can go ahead.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here. I'm so grateful and honored uh, to be on this show with my sister in the Lord and my friend, Miss Minister Annette L. Anderson. And yeah, we go way back. It's been over 30 some odd
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
We first met at uh, Department of Children and Families. It was HRS back then, right?
Yeah, HR.
But yeah, we go way, way back, and I'm a native of Daytona Beach, Florida, but I had moved away. I was at the time married to uh, my husband was in the military, and we lived abroad, and then lived different states, and I moved back here. Um, Unfortunately, we divorced, but I moved back here in Daytona, and I started working at Department of Children and Families, and I met Minister Annette. I am a mother of a beautiful daughter, and I'm a GG of a beautiful grand dog, Nova.
She's a Gigi.
And I'm just grateful to be here. I'm a baker. I am an entrepreneur. I'm an independent paparazzi consultant here in Daytona Beach, Florida. And I'm happy to be here to share with you all tonight.
Yeah. Well, all right. Thank you so much for that.
I
Excuse me,
can't
that
hear you.
introduction.
You're on mute.
Am I?
You're
Can you hear
muted.
me? I
I
wonder
can't
what's
hear
going.
you.
What is going on? I can hear you. Let me ask a question. Hold on a minute. Okay, I'm putting something in the chat and
I don't
see.
know what's going on. It's been muted. Hello, Norma Jones. Good evening.
Yeah, they can hear. They can hear me here. Okay. Let me see. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
You know what? They can hear us though. I can hear you both. Wonder if it's something on your. Let me see. I'm trying to make sure you're not muted.
Norma Jones said that she can hear both of us, but I
Yes.
can't hear you.
I wonder. I can hear you though.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Let me,
Let me make sure I'm not on mute.
I don't know what's going on. Let me, hmm.
Yeah, let me see. Let me go out and come back. Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. All right. Okay, okay. Okay, must be, I don't know. But what I was getting ready to say, thank y'all so much. Oh, yeah, they were saying check your volume and all of that. But yeah, you're fine then. Okay. All right. Okay, thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all responding. So, what we want to talk about tonight, I just want to. She touched on quite a few things that I want her to sort of expound on a little bit. I wrote my little notes. So, she talked about her ministry of baking. So, will you please tell her? I absolutely love the name. So, could you tell her what it's about?
My the name of my company is called Love by the Pound.
Yeah.
And it was Love by the Pound Specialty Pound Cakes, but now it's Love by the Pound LLC. And I started baking when I was 9 years old. And I baked my first pound cake when I was 9. My grandmother taught me how to bake, and I've been baking ever since. And I I really just wanted to make pound cakes. But people started asking, can you make a red velvet cake? Or can you make a caramel cake? Or can you do this? And so I started baking different cakes. So everybody's asking, okay, can you make me a cake? So I make cakes. And I really started baking more with the name um, back in 2017. I lost my job after almost like 13 years, and I didn't have a job for 3 years. So I started baking, and the Lord sustained me through baking and just blessing people with cakes or cupcakes, and He kept me for 3 years without a job through my baking.
Wow.
So yeah.
Yeah. You know, when we were talking about that before we came on,
Hmm.
and she was saying how her gifts sustained her. And so that's why it's so important that we tap into our gifts because we don't know when we're going to need it or when you're going to need it for someone else.
Hmm.
So I'm not saying she couldn't have made it without it, but it helped sustain for 3 years. That's a long time.
Yeah.
That's a long time. That okay, of course she may have gotten unemployment, but as everybody know, they made such a ruckus about that. That
Hmm.
didn't last long anyway. And so God has a way of taking what you have. That I say it all the time. You got what it takes, but you got to take what you have and utilize that. And that has been a blessing to her and to help sustain her. And not only that, and bless some people. And one thing about people who cook, people who bake, all it takes is somebody to say, uh, girl, where you get where this cake from? Girl, where you get where this cake come from? And then, of course, word of mouth. And so that is phenomenal for 3 years. So do you do a lot of baking now or it's kind of subsided?
I do. It's I bake to order, and it's really word of mouth. Um, I'll bake something and I may post a picture on Facebook or Instagram, and people will contact me. Um, or word of mouth, people have heard about my cakes, and they'll contact me and ask, can you make this cake or can you make that cake? In fact, I have a wedding cake that's coming up, um, and some other stuff that I have to do. um, I come from a family of bakers. So yeah, I have cousins that bake really, really well. My grandmother was a baker, my aunts, my mom. So I just come from a family of cooks and bakers. So
Wow.
yeah.
So what's your face? I mean, if they want to hit you up on Facebook, it would be your name.
Either Sabrina Howard David or Love by the Pound LLC or Love by the Pound Specialty Pound Cakes.
Okay.
And
I
mhm.
didn't even think about it. I should have had you bring a couple of pictures we could have posted, but I didn't think about it. But yeah, yeah. So you guys, um, make sure y'all patronize her business, and like I say, we bring on women, and I think I bought on a man one time, I think, but I I want people to be encouraged that you're not in this thing alone. And I know this walk could be difficult, and I know we had COVID-19. But listen, COVID-19 was a blessing and a curse
Mhm.
because some things happened because of COVID-19. Some monies came into the city that would not have been there. People are able to get houses. There's a new program out there. So there's so many other things that COVID brought. Of course, it brought some death and some disappointment, some heartaches, but and I firmly believe this scripture, Sabrina, that all things work
Mhm.
together for the good of them who love the Lord and who are
Amen.
called according to his purpose. I believe that. Even the bad things going to work out for the good. And, nobody, of course, we don't want to go through bad things, but that's just called life. So you have another business also that you talked about. You told me earlier that you recently started during the COVID, I
I
think.
started during the
Yeah.
pandemic,
Hmm.
paparazzi
Yeah.
accessories. And at first I was like, everybody's doing paparazzi, Lord. I don't want to do paparazzi. I was like, everybody I know is selling paparazzi. So where do I fit in this? And my upline person and my sponsor and my upline, that we belong to the same ministry. And
Mm.
for 5 years, they tried to get me to do paparazzi, but I refused. And I was like, oh. And so I started during the pandemic. And I, yeah, I stepped out on faith because I was like, at that point, I still wasn't, um, I had a job, but it was like a part time job. So I was like, I need some extra income. And a lot of times we're fearful of trying new things,
Yeah.
and even with the baking business, I've been very kind of timid with it because I'm like, oh, there's so many people out there, they do their cakes look so much better than mine. And but I was like, I know mine tastes good. Everything's homemade. That's the plus of my business, because everything is homemade. My frosting's homemade, the cake
Oh,
homemade. I don't do no box stuff.
oh, come on now.
Everything homemade. So but I really had to trust God, even with the baking and with stepping out with paparazzi, because I was fearful. And I'm like, God, I know the word. God has not given us a spirit of fear, you know. So the Lord had to just remind me of who He is in my life and who I am in Him, and that I can't be fearful and I got to step out. So that's, I started, I would bake and I would give people samples. I would give, just, I'm going to bless somebody with a cake, or I'm going to bless somebody with some cupcakes. And the Lord just began to bring the business in. And it's not like I, go out head hunting, but the Lord is just blessing. And even more so here lately, God has really been and pouring in the blessings, bringing in customers that I didn't even expect or wasn't expecting. And because someone told them about Love by the Pound, so they're coming in. And I stand on this scripture in Proverbs 16 and 3, and that's the commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. But I like the other two versions, the NIV version and the NLT version. And it says to commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. The other version says commit your actions to the Lord, and your plans will succeed. So in everything that we do, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 tells us to trust in the Lord with all our hearts and lean not to our own understanding, but in all of our ways to acknowledge him, and he'll direct our paths.
Mm.
So if we, and that's what I've had to do, even in being unemployed. I've had to trust God, trust in him with all my heart, and not lean to my own understanding, because I didn't understand why I was going through what I was going through at that time. And, I'm like, God, why me? Why not me? Um, but he began to remind me of his word. And, and because I trust him and his word, he began to establish me in every area. So,
Mm.
and he sustained me not just with monetarily, but spiritually I was sustained, because I was at a low point in my life, because not having a job for 3 years, whoo, that that could be kind of scary and stressful. But but God,
Yeah.
it was like,
Yeah.
I went through a drought, but God sustained me. And even
Uh-huh.
in that 3 years, I needed a new car. I didn't have a job. I have no job, no income to report, and God blessed me with a brand new car
Wow.
during that time. And he just, he kept me. And we, and again, I can only revert back to the scriptures, because that's what really sustained me.
That's right.
That's what's really, held me up during that time. And God often reminds me of in 1 John 5:14, and this is the confidence that we have in him, that if we ask anything according to his will, he hears us. So he was hearing my cries, he was hearing my prayers, even during that time, even when we're in our valley. God is still on the mountaintop, and he's still God, and he'll sustain you. So we just have to trust God even in the midst of whatever we're going through. We have to trust him with everything in every
Right.
area of our lives, in our business, in our homes, with our children, spouses, on our jobs. Whatever we do, we need to trust God with all of our heart, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You said something very interesting to me when you were talking about how when you started paparazzi, like it's a lot of people doing that already.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you ain't doing. See, this is. I told my friend this. She's a caterer. It's a lot of people catering, but they're not going to cater the way you are. They're not going to cook the
Right.
same kind of food.
Right.
They're not going to have the same kind of love. So it's always going to be somebody. It's somebody else. On social media, it's plenty of people.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
there's plenty of people that come on here, and I talk about it all the time, who have a lot of followers. I mean, thousands.
Mhm.
But but that's not. I can't worry about it. My mandate is to do what I've been called to do.
Right.
And
And
yeah,
also with paparazzi, it's given me a platform to share a nugget, to share the word of God with people that are maybe going through something. Just the other night, Saturday night to be exact, excuse me, we did a team challenge, and I came on that live, and earlier that day I was not feeling my best. The enemy was just coming at me from all stops, and I wasn't going to go on the live. But God gave me he gave me a word just for me, that I'm healed, and I began to encourage myself in the Lord. So I got on the live anyway, and I wasn't feeling well. My blood pressure was like crazy, and but I began to speak the word out of my mouth over my life and over my, how I was feeling. And so the Lord had me to use what I was going through to encourage those that were on that live.
wow,
And I got inboxes from several people saying how they were going through something, and they were waiting on a, a report from the doctor, and how that nugget really blessed them. So it not only is it a blessing, the platform itself. You're selling jewelry that you know people dress up. They like to put on jewelry. It makes them feel good to look pretty. So that's a plus in and of itself. But then to have that platform to be a blessing to someone by giving them the word of God, by
wow.
encouraging them in the Lord. So I really appreciate that aspect of the business, because it's given me a platform to minister to
Hmm,
people.
wow. Hmm.
Mhm.
Okay, that's very interesting. Yeah. Sometimes you there to sell jewelry, but actually you really there to minister while selling jewelry.
Yeah.
That is awesome. That man, that God can use us in whatever capacity. And
Mhm.
that's why it's so important that we be opened to be used,
Mhm.
because sometimes um, people are so gifted, but they won't step out on it for whatever reason. Fear, I think fear is probably one of the biggest things
It
because,
is. It is.
because when I first came on here, I said, "Oh my God, what am I doing?" Girl, I would be on. I know I was doing, but you know what? I had to keep pushing and persevering. So, this young lady has a lot of gifts. Uh, but we're gonna talk about them now. She is a singer. Yeah. So when I first saw you sing on the praise team
Uh-huh.
at your former church,
Yeah.
I may have seen you sing before then, but that's my first recollection of you singing. But you did share something with me, which I didn't know that. Yeah, you're a singer, but God has got another call on your life. So you want to touch on that?
Yeah. Well, that's a part of the call on my life to minister in song and to encourage people, exhort people. Um, but at heart, I'm a teacher at heart.
Yeah.
So I like teaching the word. And in my former ministry, my current ministry, I'm at Living Word Family Church with Pastors John and Priscilla Range. Um, I'm the praise and worship leader there, but also sharing the word. So at my former ministry as well, I taught the faith series for our discipleship classes. And my sister in the Lord and my friend, Pastor Linda Brooks, she teaches the discipleship classes also. She's over the um, education ministry at Pastor Barker's church.
Okay.
But I'm a teacher, I like teaching the word. I like breaking it down and sharing the word, and that's what I do. So,
Yeah.
and that's a part of my calling as far as in the body of Christ is to teach.
Yeah. And that is so important. Preaching is awesome. The
Mhm.
pastor gets up and he does his thing or her thing or whatever. But the teaching to me, even when I'm studying, and I like to, I like the word to be broken down to the bare bones,
Mhm.
because oftentimes in the Bible, when you study, sometimes the words don't mean what you think they mean. And you
Mhm.
have to sometimes go back and do the Hebrew studies and the Greek and, and all the different languages. And so what that does for me, it sticks with me when I actually sit to be taught or when I'm studying. It stays with me. It clings to me. Yeah, I love preaching, and yeah, there have been some words that have gotten me through a lot. But I love being a student.
Yeah.
I do. I love being a student. I love really the word of God. I love it. And because once you get that word in you, the Bible says hide that word
But in your heart.
in your
Mhm.
heart so you won't sin against me. So
Mhm.
yeah, so when you hide that word gets there. I don't know. I can be in conversation and just it's like it just regurgitate because it's there. It's like a fountain. So that's why it's so important that we get the word. And I'm gonna digress a little bit when you were saying about the 3 years.
Mhm.
Now, if you had not had the word, your walk would have been a lot different.
It
I'm
would.
not saying that you wouldn't be disappointed. I'm not saying we don't cry. I'm not saying we don't be mad. But when you got the word of God, it makes our walk easier.
Yes.
It,
Yes.
it really does. It
Mhm.
fortifies us. It builds us up, and it gets us to where we need to be when we go through. Because you're gonna go through.
Yeah.
Uh, you just going to go through.
Yeah. The Bible tells us that
Yeah,
in John 16:33, in this life we gonna have some
we
troubles.
won't listen. I was
Be of good cheer.
That's right.
Jesus
Be good.
already
That's it.
overcome the world. So
Overcome.
yeah,
Oh, come on now. That'll preach right there. That'll preach.
yeah.
I'm
He's
a preacher,
already
so that'll
overcome.
preach.
Yeah.
But I told my sister, I said, we had, she had to preach and I had to preside a funeral. And then the next week at funeral, I told her, I said, listen, I ain't going to another funeral. I mean that. And I didn't go because I mean, I just so many people like because I grew up in Bunnell, of course, a small city, so you know everybody, and
Hmm.
so many people that I've known all my life, and but even with all that, with all the death and all the stuff that we had to face this year and the last 2 years with the COVID, um, it's been the word of God that sustained us. You
Yes.
know, yeah, we may have money, we may have this, you may have a house, you may have a car, but it's a lot of people got a whole lot of money, a whole lot of this, a whole lot of that, and their mind still is messed up.
Yes.
It's
Hmm.
still messed up. So it's been a blessing to be able to walk through some stuff and overcome. And so I wanted you. I'm so glad you came on tonight because actually you got several of things going on here. You know, I don't know if you even realized sometimes when we stop and think about what we're doing, what God had brought us through, or what we're doing, we don't realize just how much we have contributed to the society. You know, this is what I often say. I was um, um, I was thinking about my mom. My mom passed almost 8 years ago. And I was saying, I said, the greatest person I ever known in my entire life, and I'm 62, that I've known in my entire life was my mother. Her name was not in lights. Everybody didn't know her. You know,
Hmm.
people wasn't in an auditorium clapping when she came on stage. But, you know, that she added so much value to the life, our life, and it's eight of us, me, my sister, and my six brothers. So, so I said all that to say this. Sometimes we don't understand the value. It's not that we're being pumped up, you know, our chest all out and we pumped up. No, the value of what you offer, uh, like you were saying, that you minister to somebody. See, every word that we get, Sabrina, is not going to be from the preacher.
Right. Hmm.
Some of my greatest lessons did not come from the man or woman of God standing in the pulpit. Now, like I said, I've been blessed many times now. It's been some phenomenal preaching, but it's been that sister who called you to say, you know, I was just thinking about you, girl. What you doing? How you doing? What's going on with you? That kind of thing. Or somebody stop you in the store.
Hmm.
People, I don't know why. I must have got that kind of face. People, I have been stopped in the store. People tell me their whole life. I'm standing in the store one day. Lady telling me, oh, she said, I got to hurry up and get home. I said, oh, I'm thinking like, in my mind, like, I was staying aloud, like, dang, I don't feel like all this talking right now because I'm ready to go. You know, I'm ready to go. But the lady went to talking and she's telling me, she said, my husband, he's, he's, he's about to die. You know, his time was limited. They had already given him up. She said, I got to get out of here because I want to be there when he goes. And I was thinking that, and in my heart, I was like, and here I am, really not really want to be bothered in the
Hmm.
flesh because
Hmm.
I had something else to do. And, you
Right.
know, I stopped everything. I stopped and I
That
let her talk. And I
that
was hoping I let her talk. I hope she made it home before he left, but she had, didn't matter. She didn't know me, but she had to release that, you know?
divine
And
appointment.
yes, yes.
It was
And you know,
divine.
sometimes we do the phone ring like, "Shit, I don't feel like talking right now." You know that kind of stuff, but you don't know what's on the other side of that, on the other end of that phone. Now I
Right.
do have one sister-in-law. She call you all the time. I already know. So I don't, sometimes I like, child, I'm gonna have to call her back because she got something to say. I don't, you know. But my point is that, you know, with the paparazzi and the singing, some of my greatest breakthrough, it's been through song.
Hmm.
You could be riding along and that song come on. You heard the song 100 times, but that day, that
Hmm.
song ministered to your soul. You
Hmm.
know. So when we were talking, and I listed all the things you did. I said you actually you know, you really walking in some greatness, and I don't even think you understand, because again we look at ourselves, we judge ourselves based on others, and
Yeah.
I'm delivered from that now, but
Yeah.
I ain't always been that way.
I know.
I ain't
Hey,
always been that way,
here,
you
here.
know. Yeah, no, no,
Yeah.
this person preach better than me. This person
Yeah.
pray better than me. This person on social media and they talk better than me. And you know, I should tell myself, I was like, you know, when you talk sometimes, because I talk so fast, I have to make myself slow down because I just always, I don't know, maybe I talk fast because there's so many of us, I don't know. But uh, I sometimes don't, on words end with an S and T, I have a tendency not to end the words right. So I've been trying to concentrate on doing that. Because that's important that you able to articulate and people understand what you're saying. But on the flip side, you have to be you too. Whoever God made you to be, you try to be a better you, of course,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but you really, really do try. Oh, I was looking at a couple of news I put. But she said we have valuable gifts. And oh, Mary Jo. Oh, I love Mary Jo. She said we all have valuable gifts and something to offer others. That's so true.
That's
And
true.
she scripture. Oh yeah, we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. She does prayer on Saturday mornings. A
Oh, okay.
phenomenal ministry. She's on.
Awesome.
Yeah, Mary Jo. She does awesome, 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 awesome.
Yeah.
So,
And the Bible tells us to not compare ourselves amongst ourselves because it's not
oh,
wise.
it's not.
It's
And
not.
it's not wise because you're gonna be disappointed because I don't
Yeah.
care how great you are. It's always somebody. Oh, tell Linda to put her camera on. I'll bring her in.
Yeah.
You see her at the bottom. Your friend Linda.
Oh, okay. No, I don't. How do I see
Oh, you
that?
know. I can add it to the
Yeah.
live stream, but
Yeah.
I want. Oh, that's it. You want to come? I'm gonna see. You want to come in, Linda?
Yeah, Linda, come in.
I'm gonna bring you.
I was just telling her about you.
Finished alive.
Hey,
Hey,
how you
Hey,
doing?
I'm good.
Thank you so much for coming. She was telling me we've been talking about some stuff tonight about her ministry. Actually, we were talking about brainstorming, and I was telling her it's so important that we determine who God has made us. We all have an idea, but sometimes the brain says, "Okay, God, what you call me to do? Well, how am I gonna do this?" It's sort of like writing a vision, making it plain. So we've been really talking about some of the things that she does, and I told her sometimes we don't even realize how great we are to the kingdom. That's not being puffed up. It's just a fact that God made us. Think about it, He made us women. We are mothers, wives, sisters, and the list go on and on and on and on and on. So we're not one dimensional. You may sing, you may preach, you may prophesy, you may bake cakes, which because I cannot do. You don't want one of my cakes. You know what I'm saying? So we were talking about how so many times we have so many gifts, and God is using us greatly. So since I got you here, can you please share just a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Well, my name is Linda Brooks, and I live in Daytona. I met Sabrina through church. We were in the same ministry together for several years, and now we do another business together. Um, I currently work in the correction system as well as a minister at my church. I'm the minister over Christian education and ministry leadership classes. And let's see, besides that, I've been in my career in corrections for 42 years. I retired once after 35. I'm looking forward to my second retirement this year. And then I'm going to do just ministry and work my own business. And I just love, people of God. I love empowering women to be their best self, to lift up their self esteem and know who God says they are, and just walk in the fact that they are fierce creatures. That, hey, we know how it started out in the Garden of Eden, but, you know,
Yeah,
hey, we're just fierce. We just got to do the good that God has purposed us to be and called us to be. He made us to be a helpmate, and He made us to be great, and we just have to recognize that no matter what our circumstances are, or how it unfolds, just know that we're great, and just keep pressing our way to the greatness.
yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I'm trying. Oh gosh, I'm trying to think of the minister. Me and her used to minister together. That go to your church. Oh boy, she will.
Well, Evangelist Webb.
Yes, Lord.
Oh, yes,
It's
yes.
Pastor Webb now.
Yeah, we
Pastor
used to
Webb.
go to New
Yeah.
Smyrna, and we used to minister there. Yeah,
Yeah.
I said she would kill me. She called me last month. I was she gonna kill me. Yeah, but yeah, I thank you for that introduction. That is powerful, and we as women, and I was sharing it with Sabrina earlier. Um, the last year to 2 years, I mean, women just been exploding with their businesses. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like never before. Not only just in business and ministry too, you
Right,
know, and the work, there's great work out there. And it's almost like I used to hear people say, "Oh, that's a church on every corner." Well, obviously, there's still a lot of unsaved people,
right.
So and the
That's
work
true.
is the work is great, and I love God. I've been doing this a long time, and I just retired after 37 years.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
What kind of work were you in?
I worked at DCF, the food
Okay.
stamp Medicaid, and all that stuff.
So we got a similar background. I worked for 35 with Department of Corrections.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And you went back. How long did it take you to go back after you retired?
18 months.
Okay.
18 months. I went
It's
back
been
after
what,
18
7
months.
years now? 8
It
years?
will be, yes, it's been over 7. If it'll be 8 years in December. And
Yeah.
I plan on retiring in October. I was actually on hold with Social Security. Today I finally hung up. I said, they are busy. And to find out why I got to do an extra 4 months, because I'll be 66 in June, and they're saying full retirement benefits is 66 and 4 months. I
Uh-huh.
was like, I don't know why they want us to wait an additional 4 months.
I
What is the
don't
purpose?
I don't know. It's almost yeah, but it is because when I retired out, because I'm 62, I just not retired early. But yeah, they definitely they do that.
Yeah, they
66
do.
like this,
Are they squeezing every bit out
yeah,
of us that they
they
can?
do. Because when I retired, I was 62 and 2 or 3 months,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. Like, what? Well, I said, okay, whatever y'all say. But yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. But they do that. I don't know. And I don't like the fact they take your birth date, and that's how they send your money based on the
Your birth.
date.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like I'm born the 14th, so I have to wait till the third Wednesday, But I just thank God that I'm still here to tell the story.
I
I
know.
know.
Thank
So
God. Because so many, haven't. And that's the thing. No matter what our circumstances, God always shows us the good in it. And I was telling someone, Sabrina, I went to see LaFay at the hospital. And
Okay.
I was telling her how we always pray, God, let your will be done. Let your will be done. But then we complain about situations and circumstances because we don't
Hmm.
understand the
Right.
will of God is working itself out. And because we don't see it right then, we complain about it. But yet we ask Him all the time, let your will be done,
Let your
God.
will
Lord,
be
let
done.
your will be done. And we're
Hmm.
just, we want to know all the time. And so I've
yeah,
learned it's okay not to know. Just thank God, whatever you're doing, Lord, hey, just show me later, but I'm thankful,
yeah,
even
Yeah.
when
I
it's
agree.
comfortable.
Because I think before I knew, but I think I was praying the prayer, Lord, let your will be done. That as long as it's lining up with my will.
There you go. That's how we feel, whether we say it or not. That's how we feel.
That's
That's
how
how
we,
we
yeah,
feel. And
yeah.
Hmm.
yep, that's the
Anyway, God,
truth.
you bless me. I'll be satisfied. Stop
Yeah,
saying that.
and I'm like, don't sing that
Don't
song.
say that. Because there's plenty times I ain't been
You're not
satisfied.
gonna be
No,
satisfied.
we'll be satisfied if it's lined up the way we think.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So,
Mhm.
oh, that's because I know I used to pray like that. Oh, well, Lord, thank God for maturity. Yeah. But I was telling her with the ministry that I'm on here every Tuesday at 9. And I know it's late for some people, but, I'm up. Uh, but it's SOAR. The name of the ministry is SOAR, SOAR, is speak, orate, articulate, and reverberate. And what that is, that we have to open our doggone mouth up and say it.
Okay.
A lot of times you can write the vision, make it plain, but open your mouth
Hmm.
and
You
declare it
gotta
too.
speak it.
Yes.
You gotta speak
Yes.
it
Yeah.
Speak
because
it.
according to
Yes. Hmm.
Psalms 103 and 20, he's blessed us with ministering spirits who excel in strength, or angels who excel
Hmm.
in strength, but they hearken to what? the voice
Voice.
of his word. So
Mm-hmm.
when we put voice to the word of God, then we employ angels to go and do his will,
Mm-hmm.
to carry out his word. And his
Yes.
word, he said his word will not return unto us to him void. It
Void.
will
Right.
accomplish that thing that it was sent out to do. But it
Mm-hmm.
can't be accomplished until we speak it out of our
Speak
mouths.
it.
Yes.
That's right. That's
That's
right. And
so true.
that's true. And the reason why, it's funny how life is. When I was younger, I talked all the time. Okay, I never shut up. I got report cards and a good student, but she talked too much. So it's funny how God will take that. He'll take that same thing
Uh-huh.
that was a nuisance, especially to my mom and my
Uh-huh.
teachers,
Mm-hmm.
and use it
Mm-hmm.
for His glory. Because
Yes.
I believe in speaking and edifying and telling people they can make it. You got what you got it. You can go to the next level. You don't have to settle. Stop making excuses. It will always be an excuse. Well, I had to learn that, and so now I take all that talking I used to do, and then I turn it around for God glory. So
Mm-hmm.
He will use what's in your hand. What He told Moses,
Mm-hmm.
what in your hand? Stretch out.
Just out.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that is so important. And then, like I say, when I come on here on Tuesday, and I'm on Wednesdays too with my friend Anita, we do the movement. But when I come on Tuesday, it's strictly it's always talking about the Word of God. That's my life.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also to encourage people. I want people to get off that couch and go for a walk,
Something.
do
Yes.
something to motivate. Get going.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yes.
um, Listen, you 66?
Mm-hmm.
You go back to work or not? Listen, I ain't even think about going back to work. I may one day, who knows? But you went back to work. So you know what I'm saying? You didn't just stop there. And you
Mm-mm.
start doing ministry. It's just
Right.
so much. What else you do? I know you're a preacher. What else you
Mm-hmm.
do?
I do paparazzi,
Paparazzi.
Jules. And I
This
think
is
I've
your
seen
first.
your name. Do you know, are you going to be the speaker for Gentle Ivy's event?
No, but I sure wish it would. Where's that?
Yes, it's Mother's
I've
Day.
heard,
Seem
I've
like
heard her.
I've seen the name. Seem like I've seen your name. Or did you just
Oh,
recently do an event? Speak for someone?
no.
Okay.
That must be
You
God.
probably,
Okay.
because she was at Church of God.
Okay. Because I've seen the
No,
name.
it's been a while ago. I haven't. We do on Sunday. We actually preach. Me and my friend, we alternate. One Sunday I preach, one Sunday she preach. But no,
And
I've heard Gentel. I've heard her name.
yeah, and I've heard of SOAR too.
Oh,
Seem like I've heard of SOAR, but yeah, I do a lot. I'm really trying to convince myself to slow down and just take it easy for a while. But like you said, keep your hands busy because
keep
God,
busy.
everybody got a gift and a calling. I tell people explore what it is because even
That's
when you
right.
were saying talking as a kid, see that's what God gave you, and then until
Mm-hmm.
you matured, you still using that gift. The same kid who was talking back then is still the adult that's talking
Yeah,
now. you
that's
know
right.
so
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah, and
Yeah,
that's the thing. That gift doesn't leave. Some of us don't
yeah.
recognize it. That's the thing. And I like the idea, like you said, you give people hope, encourage them to really see that gift. And I think that's what we all should do. Just
That's
help
Mm-hmm.
right.
each other, pull each other up, and this
That
world
is
would be
so
so much
important.
better.
Wouldn't it? It is so important that we let people know that. I always say you have what it takes, so now you got to take what you have.
Yes.
Take what
Right.
you have it, but take what you have, and let's not get caught up in age. Listen, we
Mm-mm.
both in our 60s. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think Sabrina is though. I don't think no more
Almost.
No.
than almost Sabrina.
Now Sabrina
But
just
that's
had a
why
birthday. She's
we're
still a
mature
youngin'.
ladies.
Yes.
And really, I'm just starting to go forward. Let me share this with you guys real quick. I bought a cricket machine. I bought a sewing machine. I bought a press thing that you press and make sure. Now my sewing machine, it's in the box in the room. My press machine right here. My cricket right over here. Okay, can I do any of it? I sure can't. But you know what? I have faith to believe I'm gonna learn how to do it all.
Right.
But I
Right.
had to step out, and I
Mm-hmm.
just used that. I'm not telling everybody to go and buy all this stuff. I just did because I'm gonna actually use it one day. But my point is that we have to step out on whatever it is,
Yeah.
That's it.
regardless. You
And I
know,
was I was sharing with her, how I stepped out with paparazzi.
yeah,
Although, and I shared with how you started paparazzi and you just took off like a bullet. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
she took off like a bullet, and she's still flying. Some of us a little slower paced than
Mm-hmm.
others, but at the same rate, we still stepped out.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
and Pastor Brooks, um, she was an encouragement to me uh, at our when I was a part of the ministry where she is currently,
Mm-hmm.
um, with um, the ministry classes.
Oh yeah.
Because she taught the ministry classes and the papers that we had to write, and she really encouraged me because she was like, "I enjoy reading your papers."
Uh-huh.
But she's really, she does encourage the women and
Oh,
the
yeah.
young women in the ministry. She's a true encourager, and I love her for that. And
Thank you.
she's been a friend and an encourager in my life, and I'm grateful for that. And
Yes.
yeah,
That
but
is so good.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
That
I'm
is
grateful for you too, sis. I tell you, but Webb and I loved her singing on the praise team, and we say all the time we haven't had the anointing like that. And I know everybody's gift is different and
yeah.
how they minister, but we're old school. We're old school saints, so we just love that proper kind of anointing. But it takes whatever to reach this new generation. So I'm not criticizing it, but we know what we like, and I just miss her singing and her anointing and how she brought her gift forward to minister to people. So, but I love her too. Love you too, sis. I appreciate you.
That is so awesome. I think I am so happy, Minister. I almost call you Pastor, Minister Brooks. Uh, are you Pastor?
it's Pastor Brooks.
Pastor Brooks.
Oh, okay. No, no,
Yeah.
okay. That's okay. I'm like, "Aren't you Pastor?" Okay. I am so glad you came on. Y'all been such a blessing to me, and hopefully a blessing to the people on here that's going to hear this and it stays up so they can go back and listen to it later. It's a blessing to know. Listen, every woman is not catfighting.
Right.
Every woman not calling each other names. Every woman ain't backbiting. A lot of us really truly want to lift each other up and to
Mm-hmm.
encourage each other and to let each other know that you can make it and you have what it takes, but take what you have and utilize it to the best of your ability. I've just learned that I went from being annoying with my voice to be uplifting. My mom
Yeah.
used to get on me all the time, but I would not stop talking. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but years later, it's just been a blessing. Um, with so many other things that I do. And I was telling Sabrina, I'm from Bonell. I've been in Daytona over 30 something years, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
my desire, it's my passion to go back there and go back and sometimes we have to go get people. Sometimes they're
Mhm.
not going to come.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm not saying that to make them go to church, but I mean, go get them and encourage them and let
Mhm.
them know that you can make it. I go there, I see so many young girls. Now, I don't know. I know, all I know about them is they look like somebody I grew up with.
Right.
Because
Mhm.
so that's my passion. I have an organization called Gifts, Girls Inspired for Total Success. Inside of every woman is
Mhm.
a little girl, and inside of every little girl, a woman will emerge, and that's just the truth. And
Yes.
every woman falls in that. Either inside of every woman's a little girl, either you fall in there, or
Mhm.
inside of every little girl, a woman will emerge. You're gonna fall in that because
Yes.
even though even though we're not little girls anymore, but a lot of us have little girl issues that we've never
Yes.
overcome. We
Yes.
struggle with that.
Yeah.
We struggle, and sometimes if we really take a moment and look at our lives and kind of go back and peruse over our life, we'll see some of that stuff is still them little girl issues that we
Hmm.
never resolved. And so
Right.
that's what that organization. I do some other stuff. I don't want to talk about me no more. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's powerful. I have to get you because you're speaking um, what I do every day. Working in
oh,
corrections and at the jail. You see people, they come in under bad circumstances, and if they're there for a while, over the programs that we give to them, so they don't just sit idle in their jail cell. we work with them different programs and life skills and things. And that's what I say, because so many people, and I'm always the oddball, because in corrections, you got people who are there who really want to control other people and, pass judgment on them and so forth. But because of the calling on my life, I see things different. So I tell
Mm-hmm.
them, and I'm always encouraging them that, you may have come in because you made some bad choices and
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
consequences of how you got here. But this not the end of your story. And then we put, I tell my staff it's our job to instill hope, because they're going to come back into the community. So we can either try to plant some seeds so they make some better choices, or we can just be the one that instill in them and make them think that what they think about the system is true, that everybody want to keep their foot on their neck, nobody want to give them a hand up, blah blah blah. So we have at the jail, because Orange County has one of the largest jails in the state of Florida and in this country. So we have a whole facility for women. And I like what you were saying, because we need to get you out to speak to the women, because so many of them just really, like you said, it's not the crime that they commit. It's the little girl that's
That's
still
right.
searching
Right.
for love or for whatever went
Mhm.
wrong at some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
They never heal,
They're
and
stuck.
they're stuck. They're
Yeah.
stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that came through experience. I struggled, and I went to looking back. Now, everything we do we won't end up in jail, but we'll have our own personal prison.
Prison.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Our
Yeah.
mind.
And
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
and those issues, and we're struggling. And then I kind of I want to catch those people, but then I want to catch them little girls, those little girls that one day you're gonna be somebody mama, or somebody auntie.
Yes.
Even
Hmm.
you ain't got to be none of, you're gonna be you, whoever you are. And then you got that struggle there. So yeah, that's my passion when it comes. Oh my gosh, that's my passion. I'm gonna say this, and then I promise you, Lena, I have organization I call Hey Girl. And what Hey Girl is, my friend Lucille Ford had cancer and she passed
Yeah.
away. You remember
Yeah.
Lucille?
Oh yeah.
I love
Lucille.
Lucille.
Lucille was family. She's
Oh yeah, that's right.
we
Yeah.
used to sing together. Our family
Yeah.
sang together.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
gosh.
Yeah.
And Lucille would say these words. She
Mhm.
was, I don't care. You say, hey Lucille, hey girl. She would always say, hey girl. And in honor of her, because she spoke life into people.
Mhm.
You weren't gonna be around Lucille and not be sad. She
Yeah.
just wasn't.
You make it.
And
She
so
didn't
what
make it
hey
bad.
girl is, it's a one word of affirmation. So it's hey girl, you are beautiful. Hey girl,
Oh,
you are awesome. So it's hey girl, one word affirmation. And I chose for younger women, maybe older women too, to remind them that regardless of what the world says, or who the world say you are, or who
Mhm.
your family, even sometimes your family, your friends,
hmm.
I'm here to tell you that you are wonderful, beautiful,
Beautiful.
kind, loving, wise, understand, just so many adjectives, on and on and on. And so it's always, hey girl, you are,
Hmm.
yeah. So
I
yeah,
love that.
yeah,
Yes.
Mhm.
yeah. That's because I have such a passion. I have 3 daughters. They all grown, but I have daughters. And yeah, I ain't had no boys around. I had all girls. So I have 6 brothers, but yeah, I grew up with, raising those young ladies and preferably instilling some kind of values in them.
Right, right.
But anyway, so well, I'm so appreciative of y'all coming in. I never how to talk about the ministry that I do. I don't never do it, but anyway, think I made a little shameless plug,
Oh, well, a
which
good
I never
job.
do. I never think about it. I really don't. But yeah, so it's been such an honor to have y'all. Y'all just blessed my soul. Y'all
Thank
really
you.
did.
Thank
You
you. I'm
know,
glad I came on.
I
Yeah.
am too. Y'all
I
know,
just finished a live, and I
oh,
saw your
what you
invite
do?
And
earlier.
that's why I wasn't on the live. I was
Yeah.
on this live.
Yeah, and I saw the invite and I said, I'm not sure what this is, but now that I'm done, let me click on it and see. So
I'm
I
so
just kept
glad.
following the instructions and I ended
Uh-huh.
up here.
I'm so glad because I actually saw Sabrina at the Chinese restaurant. We was getting Chinese food,
I
and
was on
I said,
the
"I'm gonna bring you on the live." She probably thought, how people say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this." Oh yeah, I'm gonna do it. And I called her today. Well, I reached out to her today,
Oh,
and I'm
wow.
so last night I think. Anyway, I'm so glad she came on because it's been a blessing. Because now, you know, I just want you to know, Sabrina, the greatness that's on the inside of you, just in case nobody can tell you. See,
Mm-hmm.
every now and then people forget to tell people. You know, it ain't like I don't got nobody say every now and then it's all right to say, sister, you doing good. It's all right to
Yes.
encourage each other, you know, and remind each other how important you are. Because the world may never say it. You know, the
Mm-hmm.
world may never say anything kind to you. If you look at the news, you very seldom see anything nice and kind. Because,
Yeah.
you know, bad news sell, but good news is that God love you, and the good news is, girl, you walking in power. Look, you
Yes.
make some doggone cakes and paparazzi singing and ministering, and
Yeah.
that's probably just a tip of what you're gonna do or what you've been called to do. So many times we don't even understand. We multifunctional. You know, you may be a mama or you may be a wife, but you're a whole lot more than that. You know, you're a preacher,
Yes.
you're a singer, you know, you bake and
Mhm.
you cook. Because one time, I'm gonna tell you something. One thing I love about social media, people may never say anything, but one day, I don't know if it was you or your sister, y'all had cooked y'all daddy some food. It was some oxtails.
I
And
remember
I see
that.
why but that just, I said, oh Lord, I wish I knew these people.
I
I had to
know
go get
that's
me a
right.
plate. It may
I
have been your
know.
sister. It was one of y'all had cooked for your daddy. And yeah, I think it was you. It's been a minute now. It wasn't recently. But
Uh-huh.
it's amazing how your
It
mind go. I don't
probably
know why I went back to oxtails, but
uh-huh.
y'all had cooked oxtails that day.
Yeah,
Surely
I
did.
think that was Sabrina because I was saying the same thing. I was like, Lord, why she got these oxtails up here? And then she make the dishes look so picture
So
perfect. Like
pretty. That's
step down.
right.
I just throw
That's
the
right.
food on the plate. Here you go. Just
Mhm.
eat it.
You
Hers be
that
on there
yeah,
arranged pretty.
mhm. It's something
Yeah.
that I would buy. You know what I'm
But
saying? You know,
Yes.
yeah, people make
yeah,
a cook, but if you don't slap my food on my
now
plate, I don't want that. I don't care how good it is.
Yes.
You know, so yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
very particular. I'm very meticulous when it comes
I
to
saw that plate. I know them
my
oxtail
cooking.
was looking good, girl. I said, ooh,
But Pastor
mm-hmm.
Brooks is an excellent cook as well. She loves
Oh,
cooking, and
Yeah.
I used to be.
and Minister Annette, she's a crab eater just like you.
Oh, girl, listen
Yes.
here. Oh. I can eat crabs every day. And I
That's
know that's
me.
bad.
She
Oh,
That's
can
me.
I would
That's
high five
me.
the child. I love crabs. I told my husband
too.
yesterday, I said, let's go get some crabs. He said, what? He said, Anna, maybe we shouldn't have no crabs today. I said, well, okay. All right. But I want some crabs so bad.
Yes, I could eat them every
I
day.
love crabs.
She
Me too.
loves
Grew up on
crab.
them. See, my family, I
Yes.
heard you say you from Bunnell.
Yeah.
Well, I'm from Hastings. So I think,
Oh.
yeah. So you know where Hastings is, right?
My mama grew up in Haston.
What's your mama
Y'all might
name?
be related.
My mama name was Jeanette Ford. Uh uh we lived, it was a house right next to, what's that church?
Church of
Oh,
God by Faith on Main Street.
Gethsemane. No, Gethsemane.
Oh yeah, that's the bigger one.
That's the big. My mama
Yes.
lived there, and Uncle Snoop. It was John Henry Ford raised my mom. That's my mom
Okay.
grew up there. And when I was born, my mom was living in Haston,
Okay.
and of course there wasn't no. You know, I'm 62, so she had to go to Palatka to have. You
Right.
know, yeah.
Well, my mom had me at the midwife house right there in Hastings. And
Oh,
my
okay.
grandmother's house is still there on Main Street.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Davis and Hills. Yeah, but I'm sure my mom is asleep now, but I have to ask her. But yeah, so my point is when I would leave Orlando and go see my grandmother every weekend, that's all we did every weekend was cook crabs outside. And so I grew up on crabs. So, we come, get big time and in the city. I'm like, I'm a pure country girl. We grew up cooking
Yeah.
crabs outside, eating them
That's
In
every
the Big
day.
Tin tub.
In the
that's
big,
right. Yeah,
I
that's what
call it
we
the wishing.
do.
Yes, in that
And we
washing
still do
tub.
that. Yeah, because
Yeah.
With some
my aunt
wood
lived in
logs.
Seaville. Yeah. Oh my, I love
That's
crab.
how we grew up eating crabs outside the Big
Yep.
Tin tub.
In the
Tin
tub.
tub.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
My daughter still live in Bunnell, and I got some family in Palm Coast. But we have to get together. I love crab. Oh my gosh,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
serious about my crabs too.
Yes.
She is
Me
too.
too. Now,
I'm
where do you
serious.
live now?
I'm in Daytona. I've been in Daytona over I've been in Daytona 30 some years.
Oh, well, we got to get together because I'm
Yeah,
in Daytona.
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's my grandson 32. So I've been in Daytona a while before he was
Okay.
born. Yeah, girl,
Okay.
we got it. Ooh, girl,
Yes, our time is coming. Like
girl.
And
Sean
tell
say,
And we're gonna have to bring Webb. We're gonna have to
Yeah, we're
bring.
gonna have to bring
Oh
Webb.
my God. She watched when I'm gonna say me and her used to go because we used to preach together and we would go New
And since
Smyrna
the
for the
year
pastor down there. He had passed away. And we would preach there once a year. And what's the other young lady that passed away? They went to your church. Henry, what was her name?
Brenda Courtney.
Brenda. Brenda would go
Courtney,
with
yeah,
us because
Yeah,
Brenda used to work
yeah,
at DCF years ago
yes.
and
yeah.
child
Mhm.
support. And we would have a
Yeah.
good time. Well, they ain't eat no crabs though, but we had a
Yeah,
good time just the same.
yeah. It want Webb wants some shrimp or some fish. You don't want to try to. She don't want to
Oh
You want
crab.
that crab?
no,
We'll
I
eat
got to have.
chef. It's not a problem. We eat her chef.
Yeah, so will. Ooh, girl, you my bestest friend. But
Yeah.
what's anytime somebody say crabs? Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But I like
oh
I
man,
like the snow crabs. I don't want the blue crabs. That's too much
I
work.
prefer blue.
Yeah, I prefer blue.
Yeah, snow is if ain't nothing else available.
Yeah, right.
Nah, the
If
blue
they
crabs
blue,
are
I
the
want
one.
them. They got to be really big and meaty.
Snow
Yeah,
I
crab.
don't want.
When you done move, we moving on up. We done moved on up to the
yeah.
snow crab.
I'll tell you, give me. Oh, because
Snow
my
crab.
sister went
That's
somewhere and it was big. I can't remember. I don't know where she went. But she has. I had some a couple of weeks ago. I went. My sister live in Palm Coast. My sister's a pastor in Palm Coast. Yeah,
okay.
she's on
Okay.
probably on here, but she don't be saying nothing because I guess she be resting because she do so much stuff. But I think I saw her pop up.
Oh,
But
okay.
anyway,
Okay.
all right. Well, ladies, I used to try. I don't do
Well,
no more than
Thank
thank
hours.
you.
thank you, Sabrina, for the
Please be.
invite.
Arthur, thank you for coming
Yeah.
on.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. Y'all make my night. This is so awesome. I want to see more. I want people to see more camaraderie. Let people know, hey, listen, we got women. We getting ready to, do some stuff. God is really. I'm not saying the men, that of course they are, but I'm saying that it's time for us to stand up and take our rightful place.
Yes.
We ain't trying to overshadow the men. We
Mm,
just trying to do the things
Mhm.
God called us to do. And there's some things He
Right.
called just for us to do.
yeah.
And
Mhm.
yeah, so yeah, I'll be honored. Or
And
whatever. I'll make sure.
networking. Yeah.
Girl, talk
Yeah.
now.
Network.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man, I gotta get
So.
y'all information because I'm gonna have something at my house in June. I'm gonna have a brunch for some ladies. So I'm gonna get y'all information. I want y'all to come.
All
Yeah,
right.
but
Love to.
yeah, I'm gonna have of course I'm gonna speak a little bit. I don't want all that formality, but I'm gonna share some stuff and some other
You
ladies.
gonna
So
have
I will be
crabs?
so well no, it's a brunch. Listen here.
We're gonna be
Listen.
A
fine.
crunch.
Hey, I can see my friend now. She be like, I said, we want some crabs. She go like, really, and that? Really? It's a brunch. I don't know though. But hey, I may have to because I have a screening point. I may have to get us a dozen. We can sit out there and crack afterwards.
That's the after party.
All right.
Oh,
All right. So make sure Sabrina, you got my phone number and stuff. So make sure
Yeah.
that I keep in touch with you ladies. And yeah, I'll be honored to come and speak to whoever, because that's a passion for me. Because never been to jail, but show lived in one. I lived
yeah.
in prison for many years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Many years of depression. So I
Mhm.
understand just because they didn't shut a door and put a key to
Yeah.
unlock it, don't mean I didn't live it. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah. We
yeah.
You
all got
know,
a story. People don't realize it, but I say all
Mm-hmm.
you can't judge a book by its cover
Sure
because
can.
all
right.
got a story. God done brought us all from someplace.
Sure have. You see people
Mhm.
laughing and
Mm-hmm.
man, you don't even know. You don't even
I,
know the
you know,
story.
I started a book. I have 7 chapters in this book that I started
Very
writing.
good.
I started writing it many years ago, but yeah, it's issues of the heart,
Yeah.
Oh,
and it's almost like a compilation of my life, but um,
hmm.
You got to get in touch with that author, Sabrina, that we met to help get that story told
Yeah, get that out there.
so you can release it all in them pages. And that's going to be a stepping stone for you.
and
She likes
because
this.
I know know that I'm called to minister to
Oh,
hurting women, to
yeah.
hurting women because of the life that I've lived and the things that I've gone through. Um, I lived or suffered in silence,
Mm-hmm.
abuse. Um, so talking about that in the book and how issues of the heart. You talked about, you touched a little bit on it about talking about that little girl in you, and that's basically what this book is about. That if we don't deal with the issues of our heart, you know, bitterness and all of that hides in the crevices, in the dark crevices of our hearts, that we don't deal with, but we bury it and we suppress it for years and years. And then the Bible talks about, if you have bitterness in you, it's going to spring up. The root of bitterness is going to spring up and cause you trouble. And, the book talks about, how we have to deal with the issues of our hearts,
Mm-hmm.
because if we don't deal with those issues in our hearts, and, gives like an analogy of what happens to our natural heart, that if we don't deal with things that affect our natural heart, then we end up having a heart attack, or we'll build up
Mm-hmm.
plaque in
That's
our
powerful.
hearts, and then that plaque builds up and breaks off, and then a blood clot may come about
Oh, wow.
because you
Yes.
haven't dealt with that stuff that's in your heart.
Yeah.
So that
You need
that
to
that's
do
the
that.
gist of it.
You need to get
Yeah.
that out there. I released a book last
Hmm.
year. It's on Amazon. It's Living Life One Quote at a Time. That's the name of the book
Mm.
I wrote last year.
Okay.
Because I write
Okay.
quotes and poems and all that stuff. And my mind said I'm gonna
Hmm.
write this book about after the shout. What happens after you go home? After the shout in
Right.
church, what happens?
Right.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
yeah, we release it when we're in church. Do we pick it back up when we get out of church?
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's after. That's
Yeah.
the name of the book. After the shout. One day it's gonna be written. Anyway, it's coming. I believe it. I believe I'm gonna do it. But anywho, all right.
All
Well,
right, ladies.
that's it. I was getting ready, yeah,
All
because
right.
normally I don't do but an hour. Normally I do, but we've been yapping, especially when I found out about the crabs. That just took me to a whole nother level,
Okay.
you know.
Yes.
But I
Now
thank y'all.
got me. She done planted that seed. Now I want me some crabs.
Too. I
Oh my
thank y'all
goodness.
so much. It's been a blessing,
Thank
and I
Yes.
you.
know this won't be the last time. Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a wonderful night,
Thank
and
you.
I
You
love
do the
you and
same.
appreciate it. And I'll be getting in touch with both of y'all again. Okay.
Okay. Thank
All right.
you.
Thank y'all
All
Good
so
night,
much.
right.
ladies.
Good night. All righty. Oh my gosh. Thank God for my guest tonight. It has been a phenomenal night. I just thank everybody for coming and sharing with me tonight. I'll be back next week, same time. Normally we do an hour, but we went over hours. A blessing to speak to people who are like minded. And so, brainstorming is what I was talking about. I'll be back next week, hopefully with another guest to talk about brainstorming some more. So my name is Annette L. Anderson, and this is TNT Tuesday Night Talk. This is where we take flight and so we speak, orate, articulate, and reverberate. So be blessed. And before I leave, I'll be on here tomorrow night at 7 with the movement with Anita Faye Wilson. So on the same platform, come join us and we'll have fun. We talk about all kinds of topics, and we got something to discuss tomorrow night. So be blessed. Everyone, I love you. See you hopefully tomorrow, but if not, I'll see you next Tuesday at 9 o'clock. Be blessed, everyone.